Good day. Welcome to my class and welcome to my channel. Today, we are to discuss approaches to literary criticism, Marxism and Feminism approaches. I am your subject teacher, Dr. Jan-Ann-Rey V. Consignado, and our reference is our Pivot 4A, Learner's Packet or LIP. I hope you prepared the following materials: notebook, paper, pen, and of course, our Pivot 4A Learner's Packet or LIP. Our most essential learning competency is critique a literary selection focusing on power struggles of characters, Marxist and gender relationships of characters, feminist. This is our most essential learning competency or MEC. A literary piece cannot be sufficiently interpreted with a single approach. In the previous lessons, you have learned about structuralist or formalist approaches. Now, it is time for you to explore another two literary approaches. Before that, let's guess the mystery words below. The first one and the second one. By the way, our illustrations were made using Canva. Let's guess the mystery words below. Very good. Now, do these things affect the author's writing style and reader's interpretation? If yes, then how? There are certain misconceptions about critical thinking, particularly ones that assume it refers to simply finding fault. However, critical thinking actually centers on exercising a level of reflective, intelligent judgment on a variety of matter, being able to weigh the merits of matter as opposed to blindly following or deciding. A critique does four things. Number one, it demonstrates a clear understanding of the material being critiqued, along with the author's purpose and meaning. Number two, it analyzes that material by dividing it into its main sections or approaching its aspects. That is our number two. Number three, it defines and discusses the meaning and importance of each of these sections. That is our number three. Number four, it uses all of these information on identified set of criteria to judge the worth or value of the material. That is our number four. This lesson will teach you two ways to critique a literary piece. First is Marxist, which focuses on power struggles of the characters. This concerns class differences, economic, as well as the implications and complications of the capitalist system. Moreover, it is interested in answering the overarching question: whom does it benefit? The elite? The middle class? Marxist critics are also interested in how the lower or working classes are oppressed in everyday life and in literature. Second is feminist, or the gender relationships of characters in the story. It advocates gender equality, especially towards women. It also examines how some aspects of our culture are inherently patriarchal or male-dominated. To sum it up, here is a comparison chart of the typical questions to use for the two criticisms: Marxist criticism and feminist criticism. First column, these are the questions. Whom does it benefit if the work or effort is accepted, successful, believed, etc.? What is the social class of the author? Which class does the work claim to represent? What values does it reinforce? What values does it subvert? What conflict can be seen between the values the work champions and those it portrays? What social classes do the characters represent? And how do characters from different classes interact or conflict? Second column. These are the questions. Is the author male or female? Is the text narrated by a male or female? What types of roles do women have in the text? Are the female characters the protagonist or secondary and minor characters? Do any stereotypical characterizations of women appear? How does the author's culture influence his or her attitude? And what are the attitudes of male characters towards the female characters? Learning Task 1, Critical Reading. If We Must Die by Claude McKay. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead. Oh, kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. If We Must Die by Claude McKay. Learning Task 2. Think, pair, and share. Directions. First, think of your answer to the following questions. Second, using any available app, that is Messenger, SMS, Twitter, etc. Discuss your ideas with a classmate and revisit your answers. What was the author's purpose for writing the poem? Why did the author use apostrophe in most of the poem? To whom did the author direct the message of the poem? Describe the situation of the persona in the poem. Learning Task 3. Writing Fix 1A. Directions. Write a critique of the poem If We Must Die, recognizing the power struggles of characters and their gender relationships. Be guided by the sentence prompts below. Literary critique. Poem title. Name of author. The poem is about. In the poem, females were highlighted or not highlighted as. The poem portrayed male characters as. Moreover, the poem presents the suppression of. It can also be observed that the author belongs to the social class. All in all, the poem clearly aims to say that your work will be graded according to analytical, expressive, well-coordinated, very good, good, fair, or poor. Learning Task 4. Writing Fix 1B. Directions. Review your critique from the previous activity. Go back to the details and justify your points by citing the lines from the poem. Complete the table that follows. Statements from the critique, details from the text, and you have to cite the line number. Feminist versus Marxist. Comparing the two types of literary approach. We have genders, focus on language and symbols that are used and how that language and use of symbols is gendered. Feminist literary theory asks us to consider the relationships between men and women and their relative roles in society. It is concerned with the ways in which literature reinforce or undermine the economic, political, social, and psychological oppression of women. This is according to Tyson 2006. Marxist social classes, roles of the powerful and the powerless characters, and which group receives much attention. It examines what social classes do the characters represent, and it reveals class conflict, the differences between economic groups, and the difference between the material and spiritual. Feminist versus Marxist, comparing the two types of literary approach. Directions. Right true if the statement is true, and false if the statement is erroneous. True or false? Number 1. Marxist criticism explores the context of the powerful and powerless and to whom a literary piece is beneficial. That is number 1. Number 2. Critique usually takes the form of an essay. 3. Feminist criticism aims to reveal social inequalities in a literary piece. That is our number 3. Number 4. Feminist criticism focuses on how men and women were portrayed. That is our number 4. And our number 5. In writing a critique, one must consider the context, the author's intention, reader's reaction, literary devices, literary techniques, and the ending. Reflection. I understand that. I realize that. I need to learn more about. That is our reflection. Our reference. Pivot for a learner's pocket or lip. Special thanks to Miss Shirley Q. Olar and Miss Lucinda A. Horelia. Thank you very much. Do you have questions? Kindly use our comment section. Go ahead. And please like this video. Thank you very much. Handang isip, handa bukas. Sama-sama sa pagsulong ng edukalidad. I am Miss Jan-Ann-Rey Consignado, and please subscribe to our channel. Thank you. Stay safe, healthy, and happy. Bye-bye!